take a trip to Insanity Island.
Recording will start soon.
Oh, I think we might be on.
Yeah, because we just started. So,
wow.
Okay. Well, it is Sunday. What is the date? September 25th, and this is the second edition of the Insanity Island podcast. Why are we doing this again? We already did one.
Because we are bored and we have nothing else to do on a Sunday.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
Remember to do your, you got to do the, hey, remember to hit the subscribe button and this and that, and you got to do that every time.
Oh,
hit the like button,
it was
share
like
button.
a lot of likes, so it goes viral and we get rich and famous.
And follow me for Follow me for more recipes. We're doing that too.
Yeah. No, but everybody does the, hey, remember to hit the subscribe button, hit and follow down there by you got a comment. We want to see a comment. Make sure you share us and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, good. Good. You just did that.
Okay.
All right. So Doug, you want to lead us off with your fake or real news of the week?
Oh, no. This is the fake news. Absolutely fake news that you can trust from the Babylon Bee. Let me start off with this one. Now, we've all heard of the Disney Corporation and how they're doing great jobs with remaking movies, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. That was a joke. That was the joke, wasn't it?
Oh, no. The new headline from Disney. Disney chooses bald actress to play Rapunzel in live-action remake.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to that.
Rapunzel, let down your hair. Oh, okay, you don't have hair.
Another headline. Let me scroll. I'm scrolling. I lost it. Oh, one thing from the Biden camp. White House promises to walk back Biden's statement once their code breakers decipher it.
No, I like that. That's fun.
Bum.
Another one from the Joe Biden headline. White House staff to fit Joe Biden with a jingle bell collar so they can find him when he wanders off.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so, let me throw in, didn't get a response on that one. So, Stacey Abrams claims obesity is just numbers manufactured by her bathroom scale.
Oh.
All right. So, there's your headlines from the Babylon Bee. I'm going to hand it over to you, Tim.
Four claps, Doug.
Okay. That's a golf clap. Can you hear it? Okay. So here we go. All right. We've got 3 segments here in our weekly Insanity podcast. We've got current events, and if there's a big sport event of the week, we're going to discuss that, and culture and arts. So let's go ahead and start with current events. Now, I think one of the big headliners of the week was the New York Attorney General is moving to indict former President Donald Trump for, quote, fraud. Okay.
No, he's not being indicted. He's being sued.
Sued. Okay. He's not being indicted. He's being sued. Let's be clear. Okay. So sued. Okay. So this is not criminal court. This is civil court. Is that right?
Attorney generals do that all the fucking time.
Okay.
Except never.
I was just going to say
they do it all the time.
How often do you see an attorney general of a state get involved in a civil lawsuit as opposed to a criminal lawsuit? How often does that happen?
I've never heard of it happening.
Doug?
No, there's nothing here. No, nothing.
But yet it's happening. So obviously, there's no dispute now that the Democrats, the left, whatever you want to call them, they are weaponizing their position to attack Republicans. Does this finally make it? Is this finally the smoking gun that says yes, they are weaponizing their positions against conservatives? Chris, I ask you.
No, that's just what they've always done. This every time they get in power, they do this. It's just now it's obvious they've overplayed their hand. When you sick the FBI on parents at a teachers meeting, calling them terrorists, you've overplayed your hand.
Okay, but yet it's happening, and it keeps.
They don't care. You see, the Democrats are famous for just pissing in everybody's face and not really caring if they care or not. What? You don't like me pissing in your face? You're a racist. How dare you not let me? You're a pissicist. Racist.
You're
The
some kind
environment is racist.
racist. Okay. But however, okay, I know you're kind of diluting the impact of what this really means, but this is the first time that I can recall that a state attorney general is going after a former United States president in a civil court. I've just never seen it happen before.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna backfire on her big time. As a matter of fact, if she goes overboard on this, she could be brought up on charges of abuse of power.
abuse of power. That's where I'm trying to go here. Abuse of power. There's no fear anymore among Democrats anyway of weaponizing any institution and being concerned about being made accountable for abuse of power. Is that a fact?
No, because they're Democrats. They can't be held accountable. Look at Hillary. They can do whatever the hell they want, dude. They have got their people in the DOJ, the FBI. They're everywhere. And in other words, they're not afraid that it'll turn on them now. I mean, why should they be? I mean, look at Hunter Biden. Do what the hell he wants to do.
Hunter Biden could be caught with 7 dead bodies in a hotel room and nothing would happen.
No, they'd go after Trump because he overvalued his property.
Right.
Oh, even though everybody was paid, nobody brought this case to her. So in other words, the reason I think this will get thrown out is because there's no complainant. Somebody has to come forward to claim that, oh, I was wronged by fraud, but nobody has. The state doesn't have a complainant, if you know what I'm saying. They're just doing it. They're just doing it themselves. Well, who was hurt? Nobody's come to you and said I was defrauded or I didn't get my money from Trump or I gave him a bad loan. He didn't. Nobody's said anything like that. So where's the fraud?
That's a great point. That's a great point. Obviously, they're just trying to block him from running for president because they're fearful. I mean,
the thing is, if he had actually truly defrauded somebody, they would have brought criminal charges on him.
Exactly. That's my point.
But
we have an attorney general of one of the most populated states in the country going after a private citizen, not on criminal charges, but civil charges. I've just never seen that happen before.
She ran on investigating and getting Trump. I mean, there's videos of her saying, "I'm going to get him when I get in office."
Yeah.
That's criminal for her to say that and do that, and then to come in, let all the murderers go in New York. But God damn it, we got to get that fat orange guy. Orange man's bad.
And I'm going to pivot just a little bit before we go to our next topic. I'm going to pivot just a little bit of how this relates, if at all. I think it relates in some ways to the raid at Mar-a-Lago, and if that raid is going to get some sort of traction, are they going to find something among all those boxes of material like, aha, we told you he was hoarding something and he deserves to be indicted?
No, you know why? Sheldon, come on. You know why I know that's not going to happen?
Why?
Because he knows for a year they've been asking about those files. They wanted to see the files. He's had them come in and look at them, do whatever you want. In other words, he's already gone through all that stuff to make sure there's really nothing there. So they just came in, they went through Melania's clothes, they trashed his son's room, and then they took a bunch of documents out that he's already declassified. What are you going to do about that?
What you going to do?
What you going to do?
They don't care about it. This was all show. They don't really care to put him in jail. They're just trying to continuously make him look like a criminal to make his supporters look bad, and then people start not wanting to vote for him. That's what they're doing.
Pretty much. But the dangerous part, Chris, is that they're clearly weaponizing institutions. Yeah. Clearly. And
well, now they were doing it before, but now they're not afraid to just do it.
I see. Okay. Okay. So I think the next question is, what kind of slippery slope does this lead to? Does this mean if they can't win in an election, they're just going to win it in court? They're just going to find legal maneuvers to manipulate the outcomes.
Well, yeah.
Is that where this is all heading?
Yeah, when he gets back in office, which I think he will, he needs to fire everybody in the DOJ because he has the legal right to do that. He is in charge of the executive branch. He can hire and fire anybody he wants.
And just start.
Now, the head of the DOJ's got to be confirmed, and the head of the FBI has to be confirmed, but it's his choice, and he can fire him whenever he damn well pleases. He fired Comey, just fired him.
You're fired.
You fired.
Just like he did in that show, The Apprentice. You're fired. Okay, I'm going to move on now. I think that's some good points. Okay, we had a man in North Dakota, okay, 42-year-old man, maybe he was 41, early 40s, brutally murder with his car. He basically just ran over this kid, an 18-year-old kid, because he was a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
was he wearing a red hat or something? Did he have a Republican
No.
T-shirt on?
No, supposedly he and the kid had a exchange of words before this happened.
Oh, okay.
So the guy claimed he said Republican stuff to me. So he kills him.
They met at a bar. They were the same bar. The kid was leaving the bar. This man was leaving the bar. This is about 2:15 in the morning.
It's actually a street dance.
It was a street dance.
Yeah, there's like a party going on outside.
I got, and he saw this kid and just brutally just runs him over, and the kid goes to the hospital, dies in the hospital. So, and he admits, I killed this kid because of his conservative views. So, you have not seen this story reported hardly at all in the mass media. Why do you think that is?
I did see one story, but it's okay. It was okay that he killed. But okay, hold on. Let me back up. I did see one story about it, and the headline was, "There's no evidence that this kid was a Republican extremist." Who cares? What difference does that make? That's what you focus on?
Exactly. It doesn't matter if this kid
Like it's a crime to be a Republican.
die. I mean,
It's like, well, he would have been okay to kill him if we'd found out he was really a Republican, but we couldn't find evidence that he was. So, like that makes a freaking difference.
Yeah, what difference does that make?
I mean, can you imagine that headline?
Now,
No evidence he was a Republican extremist. Who
Now,
cares?
Now, Chris, I want to ask you this question. What if the roles were reversed? The driver of the car was wearing a MAGA hat, and the kid walking on the side of the road who was struck and killed was a Democrat. What do you think the media reaction would have been then?
Oh God, there'd be congressional hearings. They would reelect Trump just so they could impeach him again. I mean, you know what would happen. It'd be everywhere. It'd be 24 hours a day. MAGA's killing our children. The
old media double standard. So it's always fun to discuss. Okay, now the next thing. Okay, Ron DeSantis. Okay,
I've heard of him.
You know who he is, Doug?
He's a governor.
Ron DeSantis is being accused of kidnapping because he shipped 50 or so migrants to Martha's Vineyard. And now many Democrats are calling for him to be brought up on federal kidnapping charges, indicted, and put in prison. So, Chris, what do you think of that? And do you think that he should be put on any charges? Oh, did we lose Chris?
Yeah, I think so. His picture went dark. It's dark and it froze. Okay, I could. Anyway.
What do you think, Doug? Do you think he should be brought up on kidnapping charges?
I don't know. Let me look up MSNBC and they'll tell me what to say. Oh, he's a bad man. Okay, here we go. What's up? You're what?
Chris has got very creative.
Dude, hold on. Tim, his power went out.
What?
Yes, his power went out.
What do you mean his power went out?
Okay, it came back on, but it's going to take 5 or 10 minutes to get the power going again. So, okay, yeah, call me back when you're back. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop the recording and just jump back in the meeting when you can.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, about 10 minutes. All right, bye.
It's recording now.
Okie
Good.
dokie.
All right, so
And we're back.
And we're back. So Ron DeSantis up for, well, not technically up, but a lot of Democrats were saying he should be brought up on federal kidnapping charges and imprisoned. So, Chris, what do you think about that? I mean, does he deserve to be indicted and imprisoned over shipping these 50 migrants to Martha's Vineyard, these illegal aliens?
If he should be imprisoned, then he ought to be sharing a cell with Joe Biden, who was flying them all over the damn country in the middle of the night, not telling anybody. And I don't think he made them sign a consent form. He
Nah.
said, get on the plane. We're taking you where we want you to go. Where's my pudding?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
This is stupid, and everybody knows it. He has the he has the right to offer a bus trip to people if they want to go. He's got consent forms. He sent them there. They're not even supposed to be here legally.
Right.
So
I think
Democrats are always hyperbolic. They always go way overboard, and it backfires on them because they look so freaking stupid. Yes, men can have babies. I don't know what a woman is. What gender am I?
What?
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, and Doug, maybe you can back me up on this, but hasn't there been something like 4 million since Biden was elected in office? 4 million illegal immigrants come over through the southern border. DeSantis ships 50, and they lose their minds.
Oh, I know.
Yes, I can actually verify the number you're saying is a whole big lot of immigrants have come over since he's been president. Yes.
Gallons of immigrants.
A lot. So
their
minds over 50, and they're supposed to be a sanctuary state and a sanctuary city. I guess that's all has been demythed now, correct?
Did you see how they were all proud of themselves in Martha Vineyards, patting themselves on the back for how they treated these guys? They called the National Guard and kicked them out.
Yeah, that's not very loving and accepting.
No, it's not. But they gave them some soup.
They gave them some
Hey,
soup.
where did they go? Did they sign a consent form to get on the bus and go? I think we ought to bring charges against Martha's Vineyard for shipping these people to some other place. Let's put them in jail for doing that.
Great point. And now I'm going to pivot to our culture segment of
culture,
arts and culture. But before we get into that, I want to talk about, there's a great writer locally in Georgia by the name of Tom Green, and he writes these essays. He's a really good writer. He wrote this essay entitled "The Casual Culture of America." Like if you looked at a photograph of Times Square, and say, 1960, everyone's dressed up, everyone's very well dressed. Most of the men are wearing coat and ties. To take a picture today, it's t-shirts. Which I'm wearing a t-shirt, but t-shirts, everything's gotten very casual, which is, that's just the way it is. Has this casual culture, has it made an effect on the value system and the work ethic of our day-to-day lives? Has it made an impact or not really? I mean, just wondering your thoughts. Doug, why don't we start with you?
I'm wearing a t-shirt too.
Yep.
Hey, I don't know. Why don't you ask that governor, the Senate candidate, where is it, in Philadelphia? Runs around with a hoodie.
Yeah, he's wearing a hoodie.
tattoos.
He's wearing a hoodie. Now,
He's
can
like a
you wear a
fucking
hoodie?
child.
Well, I guess we're all wearing t-shirts today. Okay, it's a Sunday afternoon.
We're
But
not running for Senate.
yeah, exactly. My question is it appropriate for a United States senator to wear a hoodie? And do you take them seriously?
No, dude, you know who this guy is? He's lived with his parents till he was 40 years old. He's a wealthy, what do they call him? Trust fund baby.
Mom, I'm out of Doritos.
Exactly. And then he was the mayor of some town up there, and he ruined that because all he cared about was, global warming. Didn't do anything for the town. Now he wants to be a senator, and he's running around in a hoodie and a goatee and tattoos. He's a man-child. I wouldn't vote for him for anything. I wouldn't vote for him to be the head of Antifa.
Okay, the next thing I have is the new Lord of the Rings movie, and I think Chris, you wanted to kind of take a dive into that.
Oh no, don't get him started. No,
I'm horribly insulted that you called that Lord of the Rings.
What's it called?
It's actually called Woke of the Rings.
Oh, Woke of the Rings.
Lord of the Wokes.
What is the title of the movie?
It's not a movie, it's a TV series. The most expensive in the history of Earth.
Okay.
They spent $1 billion on one season, and it's only like a few episodes.
What? $1 billion? What's it called?
Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
Okay. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. They spent $1 billion on just one season? I mean, that's like a lot.
Yeah, and it's only like 8 episodes.
Golly. So well over 100 million per episode. Okay. Why is it so expensive? Why it cost so much to make?
We're not really sure because the quality of the show sucks. They use a lot of CG instead of, Peter Jackson did 3 major movies with like $80. I'm kidding. He had a lot of money, but he didn't have anywhere near that. I think they spent $300 million on all 3 movies, and those were movies. But in this, like if they show a bunch of people, you can just see that they're computer copied. It's obvious. They took many of the characters and completely changed their character.
Were they diverse? Were they more diverse?
Oh yeah, so that's good. And there's a character, you probably don't know the Galadriel character.
Okay, no, I don't know that.
Okay, Kate Blanchett played her in the movie. And from the books, she was a very effeminate elf, very powerful, but powerful with magic. She wasn't a fighter. Well, they got her as a fighter now, and she's better than all the men, and the men are stupid, and look at her with her sword. That wasn't her character. They just do this.
So they're making it more woke.
Right. Basically, you have to make the men dumb. The women have to lead them around because the men are so stupid. The women can pick them up and throw them in the air if they want to. They bind their breasts, they put their hair back, and they basically call them women, but really they're just dudes without a penis.
Whoa!
Without a little pee-pee.
Okay, all right.
But look at She-Hulk. They did the same thing with that. Bruce is, she's better than Bruce in every way. She's stronger, better, good looking. She's perfect. She's absolutely perfect. And it makes her character crap.
I tell you, them green women on TV, man, that's good stuff there, man.
I always thought that green alien in Star Trek was pretty hot, though.
She was the hottest woman ever in history of television. You know who that was, don't you? That was Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Yeah, it was the same actress. The one in Star Trek that played the green chick is the same girl that played Batgirl in the Batman TV series. That was her.
Okay, so pivoting just a little bit, now we have the next thing, of course, the Insanity Island podcast.
Whoa, this is my favorite subject. Doug, go with it.
Wow, look out, man. It's the Insanity Island. In a world of a podcast, one comes that has its own cartoon, Insanity Island.
Oh my God.
It's a podcast and a cartoon in one, so everybody's getting their bang for their buck, even though it's free.
Yeah. Hey, did you look at the last comment we had? The guy said, "Wow, this is the greatest animation that Insanity Island's ever done." Our podcast.
It looks so real. It looks so real.
It looks so real. Okay, well, there is one final topic to discuss. I'm going to go back to current events real quick, and then we'll do a conclusion. So, we have an election.
What?
We have an election approaching. It's not that long. It's going to be in approximately 6 weeks. Is that right?
November 8th.
Yeah, November 8th. What if, and I'm just going to just say what if, we are definitely under the grips of the worst inflation we've had in 40 years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you can always fix that though.
Is that fair to say? Yeah, but the way they're trying to fix it is different.
Oh yeah.
So what if the Democrats keep the House and Oz loses Pennsylvania, Walker loses Georgia, and they get control of the Senate? So they have complete control of the Senate. They pick up 2 more Senate seats. They retain the House, and we've got the Democrats in full control. Are there any predictions of what will happen to inflation, the economy, the wokeism? We'll start with you, Chris.
If America is so damned, what more wrong do the Democrats have to do? I mean, inflation's out all over the place. Massive crime is everywhere. Corruption all over the place. 2-tier systems of justice, which is obvious to everybody. Hunter Biden gets to do whatever he wants. Trump can't even make a transaction without being sued. What more? Afghanistan. We just armed the biggest terror state in the world with $1 billion worth of equipment.
The Afghanistan thing alone, you would think.
Alone should have done it. Dude, he promised over and over he would never leave anybody behind. And he left everybody behind. Not one person. He left thousands of people behind.
Gave that airport up.
Yeah, oh, and that was all. He lied about that. He's been caught lying all the time. Dude, this is unbelievable. You know, and they keep arguing the point that, well, we had to get out. That's not the issue. It's how you did it.
Though it had to be the worst situation in American history, right? The number one worst.
Dude, they were supposed to get the people that helped us out first, then get the Americans out, then get the equipment out, and then the military would leave. Instead,
and keep the airport, by the way.
Yeah, they offered to let them keep it, but he said, "No, it's all right, y'all keep it. You guys are good little terrorists. Y'all just hold on to
it." Right.
And he lied about that. It turned out that they did offer us to keep it.
And by the way, if you need any tech support for the equipment or how to run the airport, just call this number and we'll help you out there.
Oh, and you know what? If you don't have enough money to run your country, we're going to leave $1 billion in cash on a truck for you. Just gobs of money. Do you remember that? Stacks.
Unbelievable.
And cash. In other words, imagine a bank is getting robbed. The SWAT team is outside and they just go home. They just leave. Leave everybody in the bank to fend for themselves. That's what he did.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
There's no excuse for not getting everybody out. We had as long as we wanted. We owned the country. He's like, we'll get out when we say we're going to get out. He only did that because he wanted to have them out by September 11th so he could have some kind of prop picture. It backfired on him big time, though. He looked evil doing what he did.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people still hate the Republican Party. A lot of people still hate Trump. A lot of people hate DeSantis. There's still a lot of support for the Democrats out there. And I tell you, it would not surprise me. I would be disappointed. I would be very, very,
I'd
give up. But I would not be surprised if the Democrats figured out a way to win the Senate and win the House and have complete control. Whether they manipulate the election or do it through the media or whatever.
Well, then we're done. Then we're done.
Well, yeah,
imagine, dude, by the time he gets done, if he stays in, if he gets to have complete control over everything for 2 more years, and then even after that, we're going to have 100 million illegals. We're going to be outnumbered by illegals in this country. The country's
That's
going to be
it.
done.
All right. Hold on. That's it. I'm going to New Zealand. Bye. Bye.
You can't do that. You can't do that, Doug.
Doug's going to New Zealand.
Wait, but that won't work. You know why that won't work? You know why that wouldn't work, Doug?
Hold on, I didn't leave. My booze is here. What?
It won't work because they changed their name to New Wokeland.
What?
Oh, New Oakland.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
also-
Well, it's going to be a very interesting election. I think we're going to have a very interesting podcast discussing the results of the election. And, it's only 6 weeks away. And, all the Senate races are neck and neck. I mean, it's amazing. It's
can't
absolutely
believe
amazing to me
anybody
that
would-
those people in Pennsylvania think that guy with the hoodie would make a good senator. It's just amazing.
Just that. Just him wearing a hoodie while campaigning. I'm done with you, dude. You look like a fucking gangster. Idiot, you stupid Democrat people. God almighty. Oh, our country's finished.
It hurts. It hurts so
We had a good
bad.
We had a good run.
Well, we'll see.
You know what it proves, don't you? You know what it proves, don't you? It proves that McCarthy was freaking right.
He was right. McCarthy was right. He was the first Republican to stand up and say, if we don't watch it, we're going to get taken over. And it starts in the public education system. It starts in entertainment and in entertainment media and in government.
And
Well,
what?
you know what's funny?
And he was right. And he was right the entire time. Everyone wrote him off as this Looney Tune right-wing guy. Turns out Joseph McCarthy was right. He was right. He was so right.
Hey, the only Joe that was actually right.
No.
You know what's funny though, Doug and Tim?
Well, hold on. There's Joe Stalin. So yeah.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny about the McCarthy thing is their whole complaint against him was that he caused people to be blacklisted, right?
Right. Yeah, that's
Okay.
his main. That's the main gripe about him. Yeah.
Yeah, by the left, saying how evil that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, explain cancel culture then.
It's the same thing.
No, it's worse. Now, if you just say something they don't like,
Worse.
they go after your employer and have it where you can never work again. They go after
Yeah,
your home,
True.
dox you. He didn't dox anybody and make it where people go and protest outside your freaking house.
Man, what a great point that is.
They're the
Look-
kings of blacklisting. Look at Hollywood. All they do is
Cancel
blacklist
culture is the left-wing version of the blacklist. It is absolutely true. Yeah, that's actually a great point because they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to ruin people's careers through cancel culture. Yeah, I mean, people are getting their careers ruined over the smallest, most minute little.
And you could have said something 20 years ago. You're done.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah.
Oh
20
wait.
years ago.
Unless you're black.
Oh, and like saying something back in the 80s, like what I did was a dumb thing, and I'll do dumb things again.
Yeah, well, it's okay. He's a Democrat. He can do that.
Yeah, Democrats are
You forgot,
protected.
Doug. He has privilege.
Ha ha!
He's a jackass.
Ha ha!
It's amazing to me that they're calling Herschel Walker racist.
Have you noticed in all those ads how they always just say accused of this and accused of that? Have you noticed there's no conviction or official thing like he did anything wrong? He was accused of it. Oh, that's right, by his ex-wife. Yeah, let's believe her.
Right, yeah, right.
Believe all women.
Because we
Yeah.
all know ex-wives love to say nothing but glowing great things about their ex-husbands.
But
You know,
haven't you
we all
noticed
know that.
in every one of those ads, it's he was said to have or he was accused of. Well, hell, I can accuse Obama of being a freaking child molester. Doesn't mean it's true.
What he was
Well,
really?
he probably
After
was.
you just
but-
said it.
Oh
What
God,
you
this
read
guy's
on
gonna
the
come after me
internet
now.
True. Okay. Any other last topics you want to bring up, Doug?
Oh, nothing here except the nice fall weather coming in, and looking forward to I don't know, another month.
Yeah. Pendo, what about you?
AOC's an idiot.
She is such an idiot.
Yeah, she is.
And
Look into my eyes. I will be president one day.
the media loves AOC for some reason.
They wouldn't love her if she was fat and ugly. and old.
Exactly.
They wouldn't be listening to a thing she had to say.
Nothing.
Because she's a little hot Latina, she's important.
Yep. All righty, boys.
I'm sorry, I meant Latinx.
I know you don't want to be offensive towards the genders there. Okay. Insanity Island.
Hey, just remember to hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. If you like us, pass us along to people around the country, and just spread this because YouTube sucks.